Good evening. The news for this Thursday, 12th of May. Today is World Nurses Day, and the Health Ministry has launched a campaign promoting compassion in nursing and midwifery practice. A group of 30 nursing staff from different departments and health centres on Mahé, Prala and La Digue have been chosen to be kindness ambassadors. They have been nominated by their respective departments and centres to help in the campaign, which will last for 2 years. They were presented with their badges and documents in a ceremony held at the Sheikh Khalifa conference room at the Seychelles Hospital this morning. At the launching ceremony, Minister Peggy Vidot unveiled the campaign's logo in the presence of her nurse colleagues, other guests, and Rex Mpazenge from the World Health Organization. This year's commemoration was held under the theme Investing in Nursing and Respect Rights to Secure Global Health.
Celebrating the Nurses' Day, we decided to launch the campaign in respect to those weaknesses that we need to address within the results of the survey that was conducted in 2019. We still go on why a campaign. I bet you some of you may have heard this. We often hear staff being rude to patients and visitors, meals being placed out of sick patients' reach, staff being too busy to toilet patients, staff being too busy to change soiled bedsheet, patients not given their prescribed medication, patients becoming extremely dehydrated due not being given water to drink, the lack of introductions. And I could recall one patient that says, the lack of introduction really made me feel like just a diseased body and not a real person.
United Seychelles has sent a message to all nurses on the occasion of Nurses' Day. The United Seychelles leader, Dr. Patrick Emini, says the party recognizes nursing as a strong pillar of the healthcare system and pledges its resounding voice to support the work and contributions made by all nurses in Seychelles. The fight against COVID-19 has been a long and tiring effort for our health professionals, especially our devoted nurses on the front line. He says, you care for your patients, you advocate for public health measures, you participate in vaccinating our population, and some have even come out of retirement, rising to an extraordinary occasion. Just as health professionals have a duty of care to their patients, the government, he said, also has a fundamental duty of care to the health professionals to create healthy, safe, and empowering work environment. The Seychelles United Party calls on the government to recognize the constant sacrifices and hard work of all nurses who continue to safeguard the health of our nation. It is through concentration that you can achieve success and ensure that the tourism industry belongs to the Seychellois. This was what President Wevon Calawan told the students of the Seychelles Tourism Academy, the STA, this morning while on a visit there. President Calawan was accompanied on his visit by the Minister responsible for tourism, Sylvestre Radegon, and the Director General for Human Resources and Administration in the Department of Tourism, Jennifer Sinon. The President started his visit by meeting up with the students to give them some words of encouragement. STA's director, Terence Max, welcomed the President on behalf of the staff and said that this visit was of great importance now that the Academy is going through a transformation.
Permit me, Mr. President, to share a few assessments and remarks to commemorate the auspicious occasion. Since May 2021, we have embarked on a series of planning and implementations that will pave the way for the successful realization of our mandate. Just to mention a few, we have restructured all of our courses so that they become more industry-led. We have reintroduced night classes. We are in the process of revalidating all our programs through the Industry Advisory Committee and the Seychelles Qualifications Authority. We should be achieving full institutional accreditation during the course of this year. We have relaunched our in-service programs, which is doing really well. We have pushed forward towards the consolidation of our partnership with Coast Guard and are working on a new project that will see STA taking over the operations of the Pomme Cannelle restaurant in the near future.
Two delegations paid courtesy calls on President Wave Olorun-Kalawan at State House this afternoon. The first one was led by the Ambassador of the Republic of Switzerland to Seychelles, Jasper Sarot, and the second one was from the Combined Maritime Forces, which is based in Bahrain, and of which Seychelles is a member.
On his visit to State House, the Ambassador of Switzerland to Seychelles, Mr. Jasper Sarot, was accompanied by the Honorary Consul of his country here, Mrs. Ilaria Isola. Mr. Sarot has been in the post for the past 2.5 years and he is based in Madagascar. He is also the 11th ambassador since the two countries established diplomatic ties some 40 years ago. The meeting was held in the presence of the Principal Secretary for Foreign Affairs, Mrs. Vivienne Foctave, and other senior officers of the department.
It was only my second visit to this beautiful country after 2 years of pandemic, which made traveling very difficult. So it was a first opportunity to meet the president, who is in office already since 1.5 years, but whom I never met before. So it was first of all a courtesy call, but also a good opportunity to review our bilateral relations, to talk about the things that we share, that we have already in common in the field of education, in the field of health, and so on, but also to hear from the head of state where are the challenges today in the Republic of Seychelles, but also how we could move forward and even deepen our bilateral relations.
The commander of the Combined Maritime Forces, CMF, led a two-man delegation to State House. He was also meeting President Olorun-Kalawan for the first time. The chief of the Seychelles Defense Forces, Brigadier Michael Wozet, also attended the meeting.
Actually, I'm right now commanding the CTF 151 under the Combined Maritime Force, CMF, at Bahrain, stationed at Bahrain. And the purpose of the visit was to meet the delegation and the dignitaries in Seychelles and to the President as part of the Key Leadership Engagement Program. As Seychelles is one of the member of CMF, we are here to acknowledge the efforts made by Seychelles against the maritime security operations and the collective aim of eradicating piracy and illegal activities at sea. So CMF acknowledges the efforts of Seychelles and assured its continuous support to Seychelles in future and expect the same from the state.
Cabinet in its scheduled meeting yesterday approved for the Seychelles Institute of Agriculture and Horticulture, SIA, to be co-managed jointly by the Ministry of Agriculture, Climate Change and Environment and the Ministry of Education. It also approved for the introduction of a national awards bill and a review of the terms of service of members of the Cleaners Cooperative, amongst other decisions.
Concerning the co-management, the Ministry of Education will retain the responsibility for ensuring that SIA complies with the relevant sections of the Tertiary Education Act and the Education and Pedagogic Compliance Standards as outlined in their Charter and Quality Manual. The Agriculture Department will be responsible for the strategic visioning of the Institute and its day-to-day running. The Director of SIA will report to the Principal Secretary of the Department of Agriculture. The President advised that such co-management model may be used by other professional centers and the Ministry of Education. Cabinet also approved for the introduction of the National Awards Bill 2022. The bill will allow the President, as the Chancellor of the Order, to confer national awards upon persons who are deserving of recognition by virtue of their extraordinary and meritorious service to Seychelles in various fields of endeavor or acts of bravery. The bill will also establish a National Awards Committee, which will be tasked with making recommendations to the President on who should receive the national awards. The first award award ceremony will be held on the 29th of June as part of the 2022 National Day celebrations. Cabinet also approved for a review of the terms of service of members of the Cleaners Cooperative. This would allow for better supervisory arrangements between the cleaners and the organizations that use their services. The cooperative, which has 621 members, has been running at a loss. Cabinet has also requested an audit of the affairs of the cooperative.
And with this, we end the news. We'll be back at 8 with the news in Creole, next on SBC Connecté.zen.